I love that. Okay, so everyone, welcome to the event, controlling chaos in your business and getting a work-life balance. I know a lot of you that I spoke to or managed to get through to were very excited about that particular topic, and you want to know the secret. How has Angela done it? And we're going to dive into that. Today is 100% about you. My goal and Angela's goal is for you to take as much value as you can from the event and have something that you can take away and implement straight away tonight. So please do take notes. It's the only way this works. Have your notepad ready, your phone ready. If you do not participate, if you are not active, this is just an hour of your time watching a presentation and two people talk. You have to be active and a participant in this to get the most out of it. So please do take notes. I don't know where the science behind it comes from, but it has been proven you will forget 97% of what we cover today unless you write it down. So use colors, doodles, whatever it takes to write down notes, because it is all about you. And if you want to get the most from tonight, you have to take action. And that's the key to all of this. So let's get into it. Work-life balance. That's what today is all about. What are we going to be covering? As a top level, this is it. We're going to be covering Angela's story, mindset and how you must change. Please make note of that, because that's where it all starts from. How to build a business and the stages it takes to do that. And 5 ways for you to increase the profits in your business literally overnight. And that's what we're going to be going over. So a lot of note taking and a lot of thinking is going to be required throughout. So introducing to all of you, Dr. Angela Auluck. If you don't know her, she is just an incredible person, first and foremost, kind, humble, charming, funny, great person to be around, but also one of the most successful dentists that I know, that we work with in Action Coach. And so she's just going to share her story with you, introduce herself in her own way, and let you know what her journey's been like to start off with. So Angela, over to you.
Thanks, Kooks. I'm so excited for this session today because, I've been on a journey for the last 2 years. I've learned so much, I've changed so much, and it was just so nice to be asked to share that with everybody. And I know a lot of you are younger than me in the room, and if I knew half of this when I set up my practice, I think I'd be in a really different boat today. So let me tell you what I do. I'm a practice owner, so that makes me a business owner, which makes me an entrepreneur. I own a practice in Wimbledon Village called the Dental Rooms, and I help run that business with my business partner, who is also my husband, Dev Patel, and together we started. We first visualized that place 17 years ago, and today it's a 5-surgery award-winning practice. It's a multidisciplinary practice. Dev and I both work in it, and we both work on it. So, I know that a lot of you in the room are practice owners, and some of you are also associates, but in our own rights, we are all business owners. We are all self-employed. We're all trying to do what we do and use our skills to earn money and make a profit. So, behind this Dental Rooms, this a place that's been a huge success for us, there definitely is a story, and I'll just quickly share that story with you. So, I qualified as a dentist in 1997, and since then I have accumulated 5 degrees, and that's 2 MScs and specialisation, and so that is 8 years of being at university, probably even a little bit more actually. And during that time, what I did was accumulate a lot of clinical skills and really get good at doing what I do. And actually, I'm a specialist orthodontist. So Dev and I, when we both finished our specialization, we thought, great, we have all the skills we need. Let's go and do what is expected of us, which is go and open a practice. Oh my God, we had no idea. we thought we'd done all the hard graft in accumulating the skills of being able to produce really high quality dentistry, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. We had no idea what it was going to be like to run a business, to be leaders, to be, strategy thinkers, to be HR people, just, the list goes on, the marketing and being visionary, all of those things. And, at the same time, we were raising a really young family, trying to settle down, trying to, you buy a house, all the things that I know that all of you go through at all about that same time as soon as you qualify. And, Kooks is going through the same thing with his little family, and it's just a complete juggle. So, I think one of the problems is that all those years of university, we never ever were taught how to run a business, even though we were all expected to end up in practice as associates or as practice owners. And for me, the trigger to want to change things and change my, sort of change, have a big shake up was COVID. That was when I actually stopped, got off the treadmill, and thought, gosh, I like this quiet life. I like having, I did end up with a little bit more balance at that. I think we all did, and we enjoyed that time. And I just thought, I don't want it to change. So I started, it was a time when I also started looking around and looking at people around me who I perceived to be successful. And so, I started talking to them, I started watching them and looking at what they do to make themselves successful. And I quickly realized that there was so much work to be done. And I then decided that I didn't want to wear all these hats and have all this chaos. And I really needed to understand what I was going to do about it. And, a very lucky conversation I had at that time was with Shaz Memon, really good friend of mine. And I said to Shaz, I said, you seem to be, living the life. He just booked his 4-week trip away. And I was like, wow, you run a business, and how can you, how is that? How are you having 4 weeks away? And, how do you not need to answer your emails? And, how are you running a charity? He was actually doing all the things that he really wanted to do and not being completely absorbed by his business. And so he pointed me in one direction, and that was to have business coaching. He'd just been through a 2-year program, and that's the 2-year program that I'm on now. So I am on the journey of achieving work-life balance, and so far it's been amazing. It's really changed the way I think. It's changed me. It's changed my mindset, and it's really given me time to be a mum, a wife, a really good leader, and an entrepreneur. So I'm looking forward to sharing with everybody what it is that I did to get there.
Virtual clap from everyone for you, I'm sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. And actually, I was looking at your pictures as you were talking, and like you said, there's so many hats that you wear. Like you're a wife, you're a mom, you're you as a person, you're a dentist, a specialist, you're a business owner. You've got so many different roles. And how do you make all of that happen in a regular working day?
And then have time for yourself.
And have time for yourself to take care of yourself. And I'll explain my story. Yeah, exactly. And I'll explain my side of things shortly as well. But
so off the back of that, before you change slides, I joined a cricket team because now I have time.
No way.
That's the picture in the middle. That's my team.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, there you go. So you said something that was really important, that when you at dentistry school, you're taught how to be the best dentist that you can possibly be, but no one teaches you how to be a business owner. No one at all. And I think that's the missing link for a lot of people, and it certainly was for me. So I'll very quickly run through my story. My name is Kooks. If you know me, everyone calls me Kooks, but my real name is Kuldeep Singh Sahota. And my purpose genuinely is about growth in life, in business, and attaining happiness. It's an ongoing purpose that I work on every single day. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own 3 businesses. I'm not a dentist. I don't own a dentistry business, but I do have 3 businesses, and I'm a full-time business coach now, because when I went on the business coaching journey, not only did it open my eyes and change my attitude toward business, it actually had a profound impact on my life. And literally, when I was going in this way, and then I went this way, and because it had such a profound impact on my life, I naturally would share with any friends and family that I knew were going through the same journey. And so when the opportunity arose to become a coach, become qualified, certified, I jumped at it. So in a nutshell, my story is this. I had a very short career in the city as a stockbroker. And my first business naturally was to build 152 apartments in India in a place called Baroda. The development was worth, I think, £5.2 million. I didn't speak the language. I'd never really been to that area before, but my friend knew the area well. And we basically were newbies to all of this. But I was responsible for building the brand and selling the properties and the marketing. And so that's what we did. And the picture on the left is that particular development that we built. And I sold my stake in that company and I started a family business, because that's what you naturally do. So the picture on the right you see is my dad and my brother. And basically, I started a chili sauce business from my garden shed in East London. My dad grew up in Africa, came here, created a chili sauce that he absolutely loved, tried to take it to market. And basically, we decided one day, I booked a stand at the BBC Good Food Show on my credit card for £900, told my family that we have to make 1,000 bottles of chili sauce, which we did, and destroyed my mum's kitchen in the process, took them to the show and sold out. So it was a very exciting process. We eventually ended up scaling and growing a lot. We were on TV, we were in the press, I was on the radios, I was doing interviews. We supplied Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Ocado, Selfridges, Harvey Nicks, exporting out to Africa, America, Europe. And then we also attracted investors. You know, we crowdfunded for the company as well. And so it was just go, 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 and a massive amount of growth and excitement. It was a very rapid and intense time in my life. You know, I'd gone from the garden shed to being on TV, being watched by millions. And very quickly, well, I say quickly, shortly afterwards, I realized I hated it. I'd basically created myself a job that I couldn't leave. And my boss, i.e. me, was an absolute lunatic. And hopefully you guys can relate to some of this, because I took no days off. It was 18-hour days and my work would come home with me, evenings and weekends. I had no social life. My relationship was suffering. My health was suffering and I didn't even know it, my mental health in particular. If I didn't work, I didn't get paid. And I couldn't quite figure that one out. I was stressful and I couldn't see any way out. And I had basically a hustler mindset, which was just go out, work, make money. That's all that matters. And I thought that that's what life was going to be like. So if you see the picture on the left-hand side, that's me in my old office in East London, celebrating 10:17 p.m. in London on a Saturday night working. So I'm celebrating the suffering of working. The picture in the middle is my brother in our old house in our living room that we used as a storeroom. And as I said, coaching transformed my life so much so that when I went to the first session of coaching, and Shaz, actually mutual friend, introduced me to it, on my way home, during that session, I realized that I was the person holding myself back and had caused everything that had happened. And on my way home, I booked my first 7-day holiday in 7 years. I came home and I told Amma, my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, we're going on holiday. And it's going to be more than a short break where I'm taking my laptop with me. I'm going to be working. It's going to be a proper 7-day holiday. And so that's the picture that you see on the right-hand side. And so for me, I see myself and my role as building people and building businesses. That's it, no more than that. And I've learned the difference between working in my business and on the business. So just to clarify before I move on, working in the business is essentially the firefighting that I know so much of you experience. You know, I coach dentists, I practice coaches, a lot of dentists. I coach one-to-one dentists as well. And I know how much firefighting goes on in your business and how much chaos there is. And essentially what you do most of the time is work in the business, but working on the business is the more strategic stuff, the visionary stuff, and creating everything that you need for the business to work without you. So what drives change in us, i.e. Angela and myself? What can drive change in you? Before I carry on, the reason you've got a pill here is basically, what is the magic pill? What's the one thing that you can take today that's going to cause that instant change in you? I want to ask, just in the chat box, if you could put a yes or a no, who knows the story of Roger Bannister, or who Roger Bannister is? Can you just put a yes or a no? Yes. Anyone else? Yes, yes. No, 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 no. Quite a few no's.
Such a powerful story. Once you've heard it, you'll never forget it.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. So Roger Bannister, in 1954, was the first athlete to ever run a mile in under 4 minutes. So the first recorded human ever to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Now, before this time, it was thought it was biologically impossible for a human to run that fast and that distance. No one thought it was possible. But one day, Roger Bannister turned up and did it. And so you have to think about this, okay, before I move on to the next part. For, let's say, the 100 years before, when people were making records, or 200 years before people are making records and keeping track of things, no one had managed to do it, right? So for a very long time, it was thought to be impossible. But one day, Roger Bannister turns up, actually without training that much, and then breaks the record. Now, that's not the most interesting part of the story. The most interesting part of the story is that his record lasted for only 46 days. Okay, so in less than 2 months, someone else came along and broke his record. Now, over the next 12 months, a further 20 odd people broke the record again and again and again. And since then, thousands have done it, right? So I just want to get into your head about this. Up until 1954, humanly impossible. From 1954 until today, completely possible and expected. Okay, so what changed? In 1954, did Roger Bannister suddenly get magical powers? No. What happened was that there was a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift is a complete change in thinking of what you thought was previously possible to now what is the new possible. So because he had done it, all of a sudden everyone thought it's possible. Maybe I can do it. And that one shift in thinking created a new way of thinking, which was the paradigm shift. And the reason that story is so important is because it's what's required of you if you want to go from the chaos that you're experiencing today to living a life where you've got work-life balance or integration. It's what I have been through. Angela, can you confirm it's what you've had to go through in terms of changing your thinking to make it happen, right?
Yeah, that's the first thing.
So,
let me just tell you a quick thing. So, you know, when we first decided that we were going to do this, I thought I would, you know, I tried to handpick people within my friendship circles and my work colleagues that I thought, God, you know, I watch them and they're struggling, and you know, I think they're the best people that would really benefit from this. And the replies I was getting was, I think I'm going to be working late that night. I think I've got this to do. I think I've got that to do. And it was like, oh my God, like you so need this, but your mind is just, you cannot see the wood for the trees because you're in that chaos.
yeah.
You know, so actually I'm glad so many of you are here today. So
Yeah, and actually a round of applause to every single one of you for making the time.
Absolutely.
It's the first step. Like, you have chosen to make the time for this, which in turn means making time for yourself. And remember, I talked about working on your business. This, what we are doing, is working on your business. So well done for investing your time. So what drives change in us? What's the magic pill? It's paradigm shifts in your mind. We coach heavily on a principle that we call the identity iceberg. Okay. We spend hours and hours and hours coaching on it. Now, typically what it means is what you see in the middle of the screen is the waterline. The wiggly line is the waterline. And then you've got the iceberg. Now, normally what we see is the top 20%. So we see behaviors of people, we see decisions, we see actions. And actually, when people want to change, this is the first thing that they go to. They try and change their behaviors, they try and change their decisions, and they try and change some of their actions they're making to make a difference in themselves. But there's a lot more below the waterline that actually causes that profound change in yourself. I just want to test everyone. Let's see where everyone's heads are at. What do you think is below the waterline? What's deeper levels of change that you think you might be able to make to create a change in your life moving forward? So let's have a look in the chat box what people are saying. A positive mindset, potentially. Mindset's important. Well, what's actionable? What's belief? Belief is massive. Anything else? Delegating. Habits are important. Mindset, preparation, visualization, affirmations. These are all really good, really good suggestions. Habits. So what we're actually looking for is this. So if you look at the waterline going down, 75% of what's going to change you is below the waterline. So your skills. What new skills are you acquiring? Let's say business coaching. Learning how to run a business is a skill. Okay, but that's at the top. It's closer to the surface. So it's going to cause some change, but it's not the biggest change. As you go deeper, beliefs. What belief systems do you have? Do you believe that you are a great leader, or do you believe that you're just a dentist? Do you believe that you're an entrepreneur and business owner? As an associate, do you believe that you're not a business owner? You know, what are your beliefs? And I have to challenge you as a coach. What are your beliefs that are potentially holding you back? And if you've got your notepads out, maybe write some of these things down. What are your beliefs? What are your values? What potential values might you have to change? If you value hard work, is that keeping you at work all the time? And is that making you bring your work home? You know, a lot of us value hard work, but actually there's, problems with it when it comes home with you and all you do is work hard. And then what is your identity? Identity is really important. This is your I am statements. You know, if you say, I am a dentist, or I'm crap at sales, or any of these things, what are you saying to yourself? What is your identity that might be holding you back from becoming the person that you want to be? But there's a 5% missing. You'll see here, there's 5% missing. That is something that you can change like that overnight. And this is something I want you all to take away. What do you think that 5% might be? If you look at the iceberg and remove this particular context, but just out in nature, right? What can you change to affect the size of an iceberg? What needs to change for the iceberg to change in size? Just some suggestions in the chat box.
This is now getting deep.
Very deep.
Very deep.
I coached my team on this and someone cried.
Yeah, there's
because they realized.
some big realizations sometimes.
Any suggestions, anyone? Remember, we need participation for you to get the most out of this, being yourself, potentially. But what can you change? If you think of an iceberg, the weather. Okay, we're close, Kajal, yeah, brilliant. We're really close with the weather. The environment. Bao, well done, Bao. That is it. By changing the environment of an iceberg, so the water, let's say, if it gets hotter or colder, the dramatic change in the iceberg is profound, right? Likewise with yourselves. The minute you change your environment, the minute you will start to have instant change in your life and in the way in which you run your business. So what does environment mean? What can you change today, tonight? You're already doing it. You're surrounded by like-minded people. You're changing your environment rather than being in front of the TV or doing homework from your day job. You've already changed your environment by being here. But it is your home. It's your office space. It's the books that you read, the podcasts that you listen to, The people that you choose to spend your time with is massive. The education, are you getting coaching? Are you getting mentorship? Are you only getting dental mentorship and coaching, or are you getting coaching to change your life and change your business as well? And are you surrounded by people that you aspire to be like? You know, all of these things can instantly change what you do. Like a quick fix for me was changing who I was following on Instagram. Really quick fix, but really small, considered small. And the reason I did that was because I knew that it was having an impact on my mentality, and that was affecting my environment. So I wanted to make a change in that. Angela, what about you? Like, what was the change, the environmental change that you made?
So what I'd already begun to realize that, there were certain people out there that were there were successful people. There were people that I wanted to be more like, or their lives. I wanted more of that type of a life. And so I needed to basically spend more time around those people. For me, it was also making sure that, I was managing things like my phone. So I just put time restrictions on, so my Instagram, I can only be on it 15 minutes a day. My kids showed me how to do that. And so I've got time lock on there. And that meant that I then freed up, changed my environment. I was now being able to read more, and learn more about the things that were going to help me to get to where I wanted to be.
And you were
But
coaching, like you were in the coaching environment as well,
I
right?
was in a
You're
coaching
being
environment.
coached, surrounded by other entrepreneurs and business owners.
Yeah, and I was learning how to stop procrastinating. I actually learned that I was a procrastinator. I never knew that before. I knew there was, I just thought everybody worked the way I did, where I'd sit down in the morning, I'd have a major project to do, and then my brain, or the monkey, the chimp, would be saying, why don't you have a look at hotels for the next holiday? Why am I doing that? So I learned, I basically just started to understand where I was and what I needed to change. And I think a lot of people will be able to relate to things like that, procrastination, multitasking,
Yeah.
um, you know,
But
trying to be
again, like all of
superheroes.
these things, like once you change your environment, you become aware of it, you can
You
start to make
do,
changes to them, right? So
exactly.
I want to cover areas of pain, right? This is what we call within coaching, it's areas of pain that all businesses go through. It doesn't matter what it is. But I feel, as dentists, dental practice owners or associates, you guys feel this an awful lot. So the first area of pain is time pain. So that is firefighting. You don't have any time to do anything. Your task list gets longer and longer and longer every single day. The things that you're supposed to do get pushed down because a new thing comes along. Patient cancellations, staff off sick, whatever the problem might be, your time is just so limited. And so you've got pain in the area of time. And we coach extensively on how to start bringing the ownership of how you use that time back and in your control. The second area of pain is team. So that could be recruitment challenges, that could be the staff that you have perhaps not doing the work in the way that you want it to happen. It could be internal conflicts, whatever it is, but there's a lot of pain surrounding team for all business owners. And finally, money, cash flow. Whether that's inconsistency of cash flow or linking back to the first pain of time, not having the time to look at your numbers, not having the time to understand your numbers, it's often a problem. And there's a fourth one missing, which is marketing. So marketing is another pain area because marketing actually leads to money and it leads to other things happening within your business. But we coach extensively on this and we split it up into these areas because we know that there are common areas of pain that we help people work through. So I want to start this particular slide off with a question. And it's the first question that you see on screen. What is a business? So in the chat box, and if you've seen this before and you know the answer, please don't share it just yet. But what in your words is a business? Just share that in the chat box, please. Mumtaz, time is very painful. I hear you. So yeah, what is a business? Please share in the chat box. Let's see what everyone comes
Who
up
wrote
with.
the chimp paradox, Cooks? Can you remember?
Sorry?
Who wrote the chimp paradox?
Oh, I'll have a look for you.
Because
Anyone? Answers in the chat box. What is a business? A group of people working together towards the same vision. Okay. Anyone else? Bal shared that. What is a business? Oh, Professor Stephen Peters.
oh yeah.
A reflection of yourself and your values, Sonal. What is a business, everyone? There's what, 33 people in the event. A couple of answers so far. Profit-making organization, Jyoti. Anyone else? A couple more. What is a business? What is your definition of a business? And if you don't know, just guess. Someone else is probably guessing the same thing. One or two more. What is your definition of a business, everyone?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because like I said, when, all those years of training and, we're all expected to run our own businesses and we don't even know what that is. So,
What it is, yeah. Making money where your presence is not needed for revenue generation. Munis. Ooh, close. Very, very, very close. So because we've got so close, this is our definition of a business. And so everyone, if you want to screenshot this or write this down, please do. This is the definition of what a business is: a commercial and profitable enterprise which works without you. And it's that last bit that's the most important. And it's actually this particular phrase that took me over the edge when it came to my first session of coaching. When I heard that and saw that, I realized I didn't have a business, I had a job. So a business is a commercial and profitable enterprise which works without you. Okay. So what is a business coach? For those of you that are interested and want to know, similar to your dental coach that you're seeing on screen, like Angela, it's the unreasonable friend who holds you accountable and educates you and teaches you and challenges you with questions to come up with the answers that are suitable for your business and for your life. And is coaching right for you in general? Potentially, but if you're an I know, yeah, but person, it's probably not for you. Your mindset is potentially quite fixed. However, if you have got a growth mindset where you say, you know what, go on, I'm listening, which I'm assuming most people here tonight have because you're here, then potentially coaching might be for you. Angela, I'm going to pass this on to you because I know we've got associates in the room tonight and you may be thinking, well, I don't know if this is suitable for me because I'm an associate. But do you want to maybe take over and share your thoughts?
Yeah. So, I know some of you in the room are associates, and it's for me. I have, as part of my team, 9 associates now, and it's really interesting watching how they work, what their mindset is, and how they sort of conduct themselves within our business. And what we for us, an ideal associate is somebody who understands that they are a business within our business. And that's quite a big thing. So just absorb that for a moment. If you're an associate, you should be thinking you are a business within another business. Because hey, you lead a team. Who's your team? You have a nurse that works with you. You have front of house team. You have back of house team. You may be working with a treatment coordinator. All those people that are helping you to uh, produce the work that you do and provide the care that you do and provide the service that you do, they need leading by you as the associate. You have expenses. You should be trying to make a profit at the end of the year or every month. If you do your accounts monthly, you should be assessing your profits and your expenses. You're paying taxes. You want to be as profitable as an associate as you can, and be earning as much as you possibly can, working to your full potential. Are you marketing yourself? A lot of you in this group, and a lot of people that I see, are marketing themselves. They're creating brands for themselves. That's important, because that will carry you, through to make you into an associate that's great and is very profitable. And things like, do you know what your running costs are, what your daily break-even points are, what you need to be making on a daily basis? So if all of these aspects of business are relevant to you, they are relevant to you as an associate, and they're relevant to business practice owners as well. So we shouldn't call ourselves practice owners or principals. We are entrepreneurs, and so I think for associates it's really relevant too.
Yeah, and I think just adding to what you're saying, you may think, do I need to have a brand? Should I be marketing myself? But actually, your response almost, if you rely solely on that practice to provide everything for you, there's an element of risk there as well, because you're solely reliant on them. But if you then become someone that's self-perpetuating, and you create your own business and use the infrastructure that's given to you, it's essentially going to make you more successful. But again, there's business skills that you need to have to be able to do that. And again, no one's taught this from an early stage, and it's why we're doing this today, to share some of the skills that you need to be looking for to build yourself up as an associate. So this is actually how we build the business. We call it the 6 Steps program. And I want to be very frank with everyone. This is not a quick fix. If you're looking for a quick fix, you probably want to go somewhere else. We're talking about creating profound change and systematic change in the way that you do things, so that you can get your life back. And in order to do that, it's going to take time. So the 6 steps system works like this. The foundation layer is called mastery. So we start with destination mastery. What are your goals? What is your actual vision? Where are you going? What's your team culture, your values, your purpose, mission statement? It might seem airy-fairy, but actually it's not. All of that determines your destination, and where you're going, and where your staff are going, what they buy into, and what they are a part of. Time mastery. We coach you on getting ownership of your time and how you use that time. Angela, you mentioned something earlier that was really powerful, which was, Angela realized when she did this, that we have something which is called £12 an hour tasks, and then you've got maybe £500 an hour tasks, right?
Oh my God, I was flabbergasted. So, the very first exercise that we had to do as part of my very first coaching week was, I had to document in a diary what I was doing every hour of my working time, and we then had to. We then worked out what our hourly rates are, what we should be earning, and then looking at that, what we done in that week, in that audit, and working out what we were actually doing. And we were doing things like paying the bills, doing the banking, opening the post, just taking photos of our patients, and so many things that just can be delegated. And I was just flabbergasted. I was doing a lot of
£12 an hour tasks.
Jobs.
So if hypothetically,
I don't anymore.
If hypothetically, you do an Invisalign treatment, that's £4,000, and it takes an hour. Just for this example, your time is worth £4,000 an hour. But if you choose to take your work home, and actually choose during the day as well to do admin or tasks that might be £10, £20, £30 an hour, you're actually losing out on over £3,500 an hour.
You don't need to interview everyone. You don't need to write the job descriptions. There's just so many things you don't need to do, but you need to learn how to delegate, and then you need to learn, what's holding you back from being able to delegate.
So if you can see on the far right hand side, what that baseline does is it eliminates the chaos. So this whole event is about eliminating chaos. This is the first step that we coach on and that we share with you. The second step is we help you create predictable cash flow in your business. Third is creating efficiencies. once you have the 2 steps in place. Then we start to structure your business for growth. And then you start to build a well-oiled machine. And then it's the owner's personal growth and or new businesses. So like Angela mentioned earlier, playing cricket, things like that. I have to be honest, I'm probably about 65 to 70% removed from my businesses. I'm working on the 100%. I'm still on the journey and I still get coaching. And so it's an ongoing thing. And just for context, what happens is you then get massive results, time, team, and money, pains are relieved. But just for some context, if you work on your business, so doing stuff like this or writing up culture statements and things like that, if you spend anywhere between 2 and 5 hours a week, you're looking at about 7 years for your business to start working without you. If you're spending 20 hours a week on your business, you're looking at 2 to 3 years for your business to work without you. So the more time you spend on your business, knowing what your goals are, what your vision is, and implementing all of it, the quicker you get your life back and the quicker you get out. So if you're spending all of your time now firefighting, just think about when you are ever going to have the time to have this business work without you until you're forced to sell it. So I just want to share that with you and bring that to light. And if you want to take a screenshot of this, please do.
And then that's also if you can sell it, because if you're running a chaotic business that's not really making a decent amount of profit, it's not really going to be a saleable asset. So and none of us are getting any younger. So that was one thing for me, Kooks. When I started, I just got into this panic mode thinking, oh, I haven't got enough time. So, I do 2 days of clinical and then 2 days of working on the business, and I have 1 day to myself. But I would never have ended up.
You don't know that you have to do it until you're exposed to the information, right?
You don't even know what, you don't know what you're not doing.
Yeah. So, okay. If it's okay with everyone, I think we're going to be running about 10 minutes over on the event. So just give me a yes if you're all right with that in the chat box, please. And this bit is actually very, very important. If you're going to take notes on anything today, this stuff that we're about to cover now is going to be able to change your business overnight from a financial perspective for sure. And it's time to take notes on this. You're definitely going to want to write this down. And I'm going to be using an Invisalign example as well from one of my clients that I'm coaching right now, just so that it kind of connects with you. So we call this system the 5 ways. Okay, it's called the 5-way system if you want to jot that down. So this is what the 5 ways consists of: the number of leads, the conversion rate, number of customers, the number of transactions, average pound value or average pound sale value, your turnover, your margins, and your profits. Okay, so in the chat box, please, what do you think is the difference between the text in white and the text in yellow? What do you think the difference is? Any thoughts? What's the difference between the items in white and the items in yellow? No trick question, I promise. White is what you do, customers are in yellow. They're the result of the items in white. Oh, Derek, straight in there. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. The items in yellow are results. We don't really care about the results in this particular principle that we're talking about. What we care about is the items in white because they are controllable. We are in control of those particular points and those metrics. So that's why it's called the 5 ways. Number of leads, conversion rate, transactions, average sale value, and the margin. Those are the 5 ways. Those are the 5 metrics you need to be tracking to change your business overnight. So let's go through a working example. So the 5 ways with real numbers. So we're going to use an example, just a made-up business. So this particular business, it generates 4,000 leads a year. 4,000 people show interest in this business. So the conversion rate is 25%. So that means out of the 4,000 people who have shown interest, 25% decide to do business with us, which means we get 1,000 customers. Great. Each year, each of those 1,000 customers is going to do business with us twice. Okay. And then every time they do business with us, they're going to spend £100. So that gives us a turnover of £200,000. So just to clarify,
£100 for Invisalign.
Sorry?
We don't charge £100.
Yeah, I know. I'll get onto the Invisalign example in a minute.
Oh my God, there's a little, okay.
I'll share that in a minute, but just to clarify how this works. So we've got 1,000 actual customers who are spending money with us. They're going to spend money with us twice in a year. And each time it's £100. So therefore it's given us a 200K turnover. Our profit margin. So after we take away all of our costs to buy the supplies and we pay the staff and you pay the bills, you're left with a 25% profit margin, which is £50,000. Okay. Now, the reason these metrics are so important is because they are controllable. Remember that. Now, what would a 10% increase in all of these areas give you? So the number of leads, we've increased our marketing, let's say in our business, right? We've increased our marketing, more people know about us, we're doing better marketing. And so every year we're getting 400 extra customers, 10% increase. Yeah. Again, the conversion rate has gone up by 10%. You know, we're doing something a little bit different. We've improved the way in which we're selling. Something has changed to increase the conversion rate from 25% to 27.5%.
We've trained our treatment coordinators, say.
Trained your treatment coordinators on how to sell, right? Yeah. So it's giving you a 10% increase in your conversion rate. In the chat box, what do you think the increase is going to be on the number of customers? Let's have a look. In the chat box, what do you think the increase in the number of customers is going to be? If we've increased the number of leads by 10%, the conversion rate by 10%, what's going to happen to the number of customers? What's the number? Let's see what everyone comes up with.
In percentage increase?
Let's see. If we're increasing everything by 10%, 1,100, doubled, Mumtaz is saying. Any other guesses? One more. Someone else have a go. 1,200. Almost, Mikey, almost. It was a trick question, actually. The answer is 1,210. Why is that? 10% of 1,000 is 100, so it should be 1,100 if we're just going to increase that. But remember, we can control the metrics. The result is different. So, and what we're talking about here is compounding. So it's 4,400 times 27.5% gives us 1,210. It's not 1,000 times 10%, right? So there's a compounding effect. Because we've increased the number of leads by 10%, because we've increased the conversion rate by 10%, overall, the result means we get way more customers. And then the process continues. The number of transactions, they're going to do more business with us, just a little bit more each year, and they're going to spend more with us each year as well. An extra £10 a year each time. So remember, we're looking at the power of compounding here. Look what it does to the turnover in the business. We have at the moment only changed 4 of the metrics by 10%, but we're already making £92,000 more in 1 year. What happens if we increase our profit margin by 10%? Maybe put your prices up a little bit, perhaps. Maybe reduce your costs. Your profit margin goes to 80,000. Your profit goes to £80,000. So your turnover has gone up by 46%. Your profits are up 61%. And all you've done is increase the metrics by 10% across the board. Now, I'll use the Invisalign example I mentioned earlier, someone that I'm coaching at the moment. And these are real numbers, okay? So over a 4-month average, they get 488 leads a month coming in. They've got a multi-site practice. So this is across all of the sites. 488 leads a month come in. They convert 225 of them. So almost a 50% conversion rate, okay? So 488 leads come in, they convert almost 50% of them. But out of that, only 9.75 people buy Invisalign. So as a percentage, that's 4.46%. Okay. So 488 leads are coming in, and out of that 488 leads, only 9.75 people are buying Invisalign, which equates to 4.46%. So the goal that this client has set is to increase in the quarter the conversion rate for high ticket Invisalign by 1%. So we go from 4.46 to 5.5% conversion rate. Okay, so if you want to jot this down, all that means is that we're going to go from 9.7 people a month buying Invisalign to 12. But here's where it gets really interesting and really powerful. That means that 1%, so those 3 additional people-ish, equates to £10,000 a month additional income, or £120,000 a year. 1%. 1%. You're going from 9.75 to, I think it's 12.3. So 3 and a bit people gives you an extra £120,000 a year.
How awesome would that be as an associate?
3 more people.
That's it.
Right? So, which should you tackle first? Of the 5 metrics, answers in the chat box, please. Which should you tackle first? Conversion rate, Mikey? Any other answers? Which should we tackle first? Everyone? Number of leads, Ricky? Margin, Duella? Leads, conversion? Leads, Nihali, leads, Sabrine, leads. Nihali, margin. We have a winner. Margin is the answer. Margin is the first thing that you tackle. You then go to conversion rate. You then go to the average sale value, the number of transactions, and the final one that you go to is leads. Now, why is that? Reason being is because number 5, leads, is the most expensive way for you to grow your business. It costs you money and time to bring in a new customer that doesn't know you. Whether it's Facebook marketing, local leafleting, whatever you're doing at the moment to bring people in is costing you. However, you've already got a database of people that you could be marketing to buy from you once again. But margin is a thing that you can literally increase overnight. After this presentation, you could go home, or if you're at home already, decide to increase the prices across the board for all of your services by 10%. Bang, you're making more money. Of course, there might be some objections to you doing that. But again, if you go out to your mindset, and you have to learn about how to sell and learn about sell on value, learn about selling and building trust, that's going to help you sell at a higher price. But yeah, that's again, it's a whole thing that we coach on. It takes months to learn, or you can watch a bunch of YouTube videos to get a start on it. But take a screenshot of this and tackle these 5 metrics in this order, and you'll see changes instantly.
Put your own numbers into it.
Yeah.
And see what you get.
Yeah, put your own numbers into it.
It's so interesting and it's very eye-opening.
And I have to be honest, you all may be way ahead of me. When I first saw this, I couldn't tell you what any of them were. I didn't know what my margin was. I had no idea what my conversion rate was. I didn't know my average pound value or the number of transactions. I was blind to all of it. All I knew is that people were coming in, word of mouth was happening, we were selling, we were making money. and how much I might have left at the end of the month, or what I might need to pay. But that was it. I was blind. This is basically like seeing the heartbeat of your business. And once you start to manage and learn about these metrics, you're able to make key decisions on what you do next. So I've had a look at my diary, and I try and do this in every session, every webinar that I deliver. For the rest of this month, I've got 7 hours available to gift basically one-to-one coaching to any one of you that's interested in tackling some challenges and some problems that you might have. I've got 7 hours this month to gift one-to-one bespoke coaching to work through your business. And yeah, if anyone is interested in taking me up on that, again, just drop a yes in the chat box, and I'll share the link on how you might be able to do that.
I use my 1 hour of time with Parag, who coaches me, I think he really needed, it was like a therapy session. I
For
just
you,
really offloaded, but it helped me he just asked me the right questions. It really helped me to see, what was not right, what needed changing, and yeah,
yeah, same with me. Like I went through the same
great.
process. It was like, you know what it is? I feel like as the business owner, or maybe even as an associate, you're kind of top of the food chain, and you've got no one to turn to. And then all of a sudden, here's someone who's a professional that you can speak to, and they get it. Oh God, wow, quite a few yeses. So the 7 hours for this month, I'll have to kind of do it on a first come first serve basis, potentially spill over into next month if there's more. I've just added the link to the chat box. We're going to go into a Q&A now. If during the Q&A you want to just take a couple of minutes, fill in the form, please do. Click the link, fill in the form. It takes literally a minute or two to do, and then I'll contact you and we'll book in a time to do the gifted coaching session, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for your time, your attention, for your interaction, and for being a part of this and being active. And I'm just going to stop sharing the screen. And if you all want to like turn on your videos and your mics, and you want to just chat and have a conversation and ask questions, especially to Angela, she's kind of been here, been there, done it, and is still in it. That's what this part of the event is all about. If you have any questions for me, I'll be completely open and honest. I probably made all of the mistakes that you could possibly think of 2 times over just because I didn't pay attention. But yeah, question time,
Guys,
conversation time.
switch your screens on. It'd be great to see you. Great
Yeah.
to say hi. Hi,
Hey,
Derek. Hi,
Hey,
Mikey.
Mikey.
Nice. The new hair. I saw that. Put your mics on, guys. Fire away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mics
fire
on,
away questions, guys.
or in the chat box as well.
Put your mics off. Yeah, let's see what you all have. I think for me, the biggest, I'll just start sort of with what. Oh, hi, Kajal. How are you? Your mic's off. For me, the biggest things that I've changed is that, I've stopped multitasking. I've stopped micromanaging. I've stopped having that sort of superhero syndrome, wanting everything to be super perfect, and realizing it doesn't have to be to achieve those results, and just instead of doing all of those things, instead starting to manage my time, use a diary in an efficient way, making my staff understand the same things, for them to be using a diary, for them to be working efficiently as well, prioritizing, delegating, and doing things for me that are that use my skills appropriately, and the things that are fun. So rather than doing the banking and opening the post and things like that, you know, doing the things that are high value and highly fun to do. That's sort of my so far. And I've been doing this, I've been having coaching for a year and a half now. But the list of things to do that you know, get us up these 6 steps, the list is ginormous. So you have to
Don't say
start.
that, you're going to scare everyone.
Well, you know, but we all, you know, the point of a business is that we want it to have value at the end of the day,
Yeah.
don't we? And we want to be able to sell it. Otherwise, what, you know, what's the point? And I don't even think a lot of people understand that part. I didn't. I thought it was just a place I went to work every day, and it just paid the bills and gave me money for my holidays and my luxuries at the end of the month. But actually, you know, it's my pension pot.
I mean, I'll explain a real world scenario. I'm working with someone at the moment who's looking to build and sell their practice. And what you just said about there's so much to do. Like that's how we started. You know, and we called it the bookshelf of projects, because she was like, she was paralyzed by how much she had to do. It was like, oh my God, I need to work on my recruitment. I need to look at the sales process. I need to look at our training, our staff training. You know, what's our branding like? There were so many different things. And where we actually started was with her, like, why are you here? What do you really want from all of this? And we started there and worked backwards. And once we did that, we then decided to figure out, well, what's going to move the needle the furthest forward and closest to the goal? Because it doesn't matter what project you then pick. Like, you've been successful already doing what you're doing in the chaos. That's really important for all of you to note, that even if you don't take any action today, you are already successful, and you will continue to have what you have in life right now, right? You're already doing well. But what we're talking about here is making a shift so that you can actually live life in a different way. And if that's what you're interested in, then it's like, okay, there's ways to go about it. And it doesn't matter what project you pick if you can't pick one, because everything else will carry on as normal. But actually what we're going to do is, for the whole month, spend time working on your, let's say, your vision. You know, start there. That's where we'll start. If you look at the 6 steps and the mastery, let's start at the basics and build on it from there. And so that's how it works. And
But then also, Cooks, what I found for me that the coaching did was, yeah, the list was really long and there's so much to do, but it was broken down into very manageable bite size. You know, we're expected to work on our business about 2 hours a week, and there was accountability. We were expected to do our homework, you know, and we were expected to be able to
yeah,
discuss roadblocks and things like that. So it makes you do it because you're accountable to somebody, and you know, you're working with a whole group of other dentists who're totally in the same boat as you. And it really, that's what makes the difference.
I became the biggest geek. Like, at school, I started at the front, and I slowly ended up at the back of the class when I left school. Like, I was just messing about all the time. In coaching, I was at the front of the class doing my homework all the time, like handing it in early and all the rest of it. But what I was going to, oh, there's a question. I was going to share a bit more detail in the Invisalign. Mikey shared, how's Angela's team found the change in her mindset and coaching journey so far?
So Mikey, I think what you'd find that my team would say now is that I have more time for them. So, you know, when I am in the practice, I've sort of organized my diary so that they know when I'm available for them. So I have a management meeting on Mondays at 1. So they know I'm totally available at that time. We have an agenda, and they know I can go through all the things that they need me to go through, the things that need approving, those kinds of things. You know, they don't have to try to chase me or look for me or keep sending me emails. That, you know, that being available, but then also, you know, being available for the nurses, and being not sort of micromanaging, but being motivational to them. You know, those chats that we have in the corridor about, okay, so what's next for you? Come on, let's, like, you know, have you started scanning yet? And those kinds of things where you can then just boost, you know, those things really boost morale, don't they? And those things really help to make a team into an A team. And I'd say for me that's what I feel that they would say about Dev and I now. We're just more available, more there. We're more relaxed. We're not anxious. We're not stressed, and we're enjoying it. We're
Well,
enjoying it now.
another question, what was the first action you took? Do you remember, like, when, so you started coaching, great, you want to do this thing and you've gone through a bit of theory, but what was like the first big action that you took that had actual impact and change in your business and practice?
Really big for me. So I'm an orthodontist, and really big thing for me was that, you know, I was even within my clinical work, I was doing things that I could have been delegating. So placing retainers, taking attachments off, fitting Invisalign aligners, that kind of thing. And so Parag said to me, well, like, who can you delegate that to? How can you know, palm that off? Like, so that I'm then doing the consultations and doing the things that somebody else can't do, using my skills appropriately. And that's the point at when I decided I would hire an orthodontic therapist. And oh my God, I haven't looked back. We've got a second one onboarding at the moment. Same with treatment coordinators. We started using our treatment coordinators in a completely different way. Basically, just making them have a more varied range of what they can do. I had one, and now we have three. Going through that list of things, you know, I'm not doing it myself. We've now got a business development manager, and I don't think many practices have that, but she's the one that's working on that, the list of all these things that need to happen to make the business a great business. And it's just, for me, the biggest realization was that I had to delegate, I had to trust other people, and I had to spend money on other people, on skills, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is really much healthier.
Awesome. And like, if you were to like give a 1 or 2 word sentence or a really short sentence to everyone, something
I
that
don't
they
do
could actually,
short.
huh?
I
Oh,
don't do
okay.
short
All right.
sentences.
So maybe like your top, like something that someone can take away today to make, apart from the stuff that we've covered, what's
Yeah.
something that they could practically do today to make a change? Like, so it could be just understanding how they spend their time, but just something small that you think would be quite helpful for people.
I would say pick two things that you do at the moment, that identify two things that you do that you really hate doing, and find somebody within your team that loves doing it, because there will be somebody. That's it.
There you go.
And you could
Strong
ask
one.
all team members to do that. There'll be somebody else that loves doing the thing you hate doing.
That's a strong one. I'm
Exactly.
just conscious of everyone's time. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. We're about 15 minutes over. There's one question from Mumtaz. I think if we make that the last question, is everyone okay with that? Just to answer that question. So yeah, Mumtaz said, I'm a control freak. Did you find it difficult to delegate?
So I used to find it difficult, and I think we all start off as control freaks, but you have to it's a mindset change. You have to stop wanting everything to be perfect, and you have to realize that things don't have to be perfect. They can just be okay, and there'll usually be no difference. So you have to start trusting your team, and actually they appreciate it. They work better if you don't micromanage them. If you just give them a task to do, and then you say, okay, here's the task. There is a way to delegate as well. And, you know, I learned that in my coaching, and there are skills that are involved in delegating appropriately and successfully. But once you learn those skills, then you should be able to just palm things off, because actually what you want to be doing is the more important things.
And also just to add to that, and again, like, you know, we talk about how to do this, is that control freak aspects come from actually confidence and a lack of confidence in perhaps what you have set up for the people to do. So maybe you need to look at yourself and say, look, is the training in place for them to do the job well? Do I know how to delegate? Is the infrastructure in place for them to do what they need to do? You know, am I listening to them? Am I listening to problems and solving those problems? And once you start to address those issues, you'll find that you're happy to let go of control because everything's in place for it to work. And sometimes, yes, it's quicker if you do it yourself, but quicker if I do it myself, repeated every day for the rest of your life is not quick. Taking a bit of time up front and investing that time up front to set things up in the right way so you can delegate is worth the time investment, because it means you get your life back.
It gets you off that. It gets you off that wheel.
Yeah,
Those are
exactly.
the things that you end up taking home to do with you. And really what you want to do is to be able to trust people in your team to do those things. And if you can't, then getting the right people that can do those things. So also looking at your team members and making sure that you've got the right people on the bus in the right positions of that bus. And it really it's not quick, but
it's possible. I think that's the biggest message from today. Look, whatever you desire for your life and your business is possible. We're not looking to recreate the wheel here. We're not looking to add some kind of magic mojo. It's possible. It just takes you to become a new type of person in order to achieve it, and that's it. But look, it's 9:15 now. It's late in the evening. I'm sure you guys want to have a bit of a break from the working day and give your brain a rest. So thank you everyone so much for your time, your attention, and your participation today. And I'll email out the recording to everyone. And yeah, if you do want to contact me, email, Instagram, and same with Angela as well. We're here to help. But we'll speak soon. Cheers, Angela.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great evening. Bye, guys. Take
Bye,
care.
bye.